Hi guys, welcome to my very first live, and it is my birthday, so yay. So yeah, welcome in to Don't Dim to Fit In. I'm Maggie, and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're gonna do a pick a card, or pick a pile, or pick a stack, or whatever you want to call it, and I'm gonna pull 3 cards, and whatever stack that you are drawn to, just focus on that stack, and it could be one, it could be all 3. You know, whatever you are drawn to, that is the stack for you. And we'll see what Spirit wants you to know for your highest and greatest good. All right. And please bear with me because this is my first live. So, yeah. And feel free to chat, make comments in the chat. But please be kind and courteous because we are all on our healing journey. And you know what? It costs $0 to be kind. So, yeah, just don't be a jerk. We're going to say it like that. Okay. Yeah, it is a beautiful day, and man, I made it another year, so I am so happy. All right, let's get going. Let's jump in. All right, Spirit, let's get 3 cards, one for each stack. I'm just going to say stack. What would they say if their ego wasn't in the way? Let's do stack 1. This is a love reading, obviously. Stack 1. Yep. I thought one flipped over there. Maybe not. Okay. Alright, looks like we have 1 and 2. Well, I'm just going to take these 2 for stack 1. Alright, it says, I want to tell you so much and I'm sorry. So, stack 1, this is your pile. They want to tell you so much and they're sorry. This is what they want to say if their ego wasn't in the way. Alright, so that's stack 1. Let's get some cards for stack 2. Yeah. Alright, stack 2. Stack 2. All right, we've got, in that moment, I didn't care. Okay, stack 2. In that moment, they did not care. All right, what about stack 3? Normal disclaimer, right? This is a collective reading, so please just take what resonates and leave the rest. And if you would like a personal, you can go to my website. It's don'tdimtofitin.com and just click on the bookings. There's lots of options. You guys know that, but I'm gonna let you know anyway. I would love to do a personal for you. This is my joy. So, all right, stack 3. What's going on, stack 3? What would they say if their ego wasn't in the way? What would they say? Okay, stack 3. I don't trust you, and I don't need your approval. Okay, so stack 3, their ego is still like really prevalent, okay? All right, so these are the stacks. Let's go over it again. Stack 1. I want to tell you so much and I'm sorry. Stack 2, in that moment, I didn't care. And stack 3, I don't trust you and I don't need your approval. All right, feel free to take a moment and decide which one is your stack. I'm actually going to check and make sure that I'm actually live. So, yeah. Again, I can see I'm using Restream, so I think I can see all the chats. So if you want to chat, definitely feel free. Okay. All right, let's move on with stack 1. All right. I'm just checking this out over here because again, this is my first time, so. All right. All right, stack 1. I want to tell you so much, and I'm sorry. All right. What would you like to tell the collective? Stack 1. What would you like to tell the collective? If we do this. Yeah, we've got lapis lazuli and pyrite out today. That might be significant for some of you. This person, for stack 1, this person, they're used to going to you. Anytime anything good happens in their life, they go straight to you. And they're like, oh, you know, I had a great day at work, or something's going on in my family, and they really miss that about you. They really, really miss that. And obviously, they're sorry. They're sorry for how they treated you, for what happened back there. Yeah. What else would you like to say? You guys were, I'm getting that you guys were you were best friends. You really were. They want to tell you they're not available right now. Could have moved on. What else, Spirit? Or they could have moved on with someone else, or they're just not emotionally available. I am becoming a better person. That's good. That's nice. In some way, you have influenced this person to become better. You could have shown them what boundaries look like, what no actually means. That is a complete sentence. Because you stood your ground. Anything else for stack 1? Oops. Okay. Ooh, they're really attracted to you. They still think you're gorgeous, handsome. They're very attracted to you. But they're not available. Whether that's they're with someone, they have a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, a partner, or they're just still they're just still emotionally available. I mean, emotionally unavailable. At the bottom, we have, I left when I saw you with someone. So maybe you moved on, and they're like, oh, well, I guess I can't have them anymore, so okay, I'll move on. Okay, I want to go to the Pop of Love. I haven't used this deck in a while. Okay. Alrighty. What would they say if their ego was not in the way? This, for stack 1, this person, they really feel like they have had some type of ego death. Like they're not so egotistical now to where like they're willing to see your side of it. That's what I'm getting. They're willing to see your side. And obviously they're willing to apologize. I don't know if this is just in their head or if they actually would come to you and say, hey, look, I'm sorry for all of the stuff that happened back there. Okay, what else, Spirit? Because there is a difference between I'm sorry and, you know, like, I regret doing that and I'm going to change my behavior. So there is a difference between a sincere apology and just like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm sorry for doing that. But then they keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. And then there are some people that are so egotistical that they won't even say they're sorry. So, and that feels like stack 3. But we're in stack 1 right now, so. Okay. We've got forgiveness and what is this one? Odious opinions, but they're both in reverse. Yeah, this person, they want your forgiveness. They really want your forgiveness, but they're not sure if they can get it. They care too much about what other people thought, or they care about too much about what people think, and they didn't trust their heart. They didn't trust their intuition. They trusted what other people said, what other people thought, and they walked. It feels like this person walked away from you, or they threw away something that could have been really, really good because of the opinions of others. And they want your forgiveness. They're trying to forgive themselves. They're just really, they're very, very guilty, and they have so much regret. Yeah. Stack 1, they are very sorry. They do regret their actions. They do. $21.15. Look up that angel number. There's a message for you. Anything else? Yeah. Okay. This person for this stack, it does feel like they actually are apologetic. Not just, like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, and then they're going to come in and do it again to you. No, they actually it does feel like they're really sorry. Okay, this says, okay. Yeah, they think you're magical and powerful. Very magical, okay? So this was in reverse. Yeah, they're used to being in a very small box, like limited mindset, limited beliefs, that kind of stuff. But since they met you, they understand that, like, there's so much more out there. You're a dreamer. You let them know, like, hey, you don't have to stay in this small box. You can dream. You can go after your dream. You can expand your goals. Yeah, you showed them that you can be all magical and shit. Yeah. That's awesome. And that's how you're making them a better person, because you're like, hey, you don't have to do like what your parents did and your grandparents did and your great-grandparents did. I mean, you can if you want to. That's fine, but you don't have to. You can be your own person. You can believe what you want to believe. And you can go after your dreams. You don't have to do what everybody tells you to do. You can be your own authentic person. That's really cool. There's something about the fall. These dates are significant. Your birthday or their birthday could fall in between those dates, September 22nd to November 6th. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and put this back real quick. Oh. Yeah, you taught them that you can be your own person. That's so cool. Huh. Okay. All right, what else would you like to say for stack 1? These are interesting to shuffle. They're in the shape of a heart. It's so fun to shuffle them. Okay. Alright. What would you like to say? They want to tell you all about their life, what it's been like since you guys have been separated or not together. What's been happening, what they've been going through. They're thinking about reaching out, and they think you're so adorable. You're so cute. Hey, look, adorable is, I mean, that's a nice compliment. Some people are like, don't call me adorable. Well, puppies are adorable. Kids are, like, babies are adorable. Why wouldn't you want to be adorable? They adore you. And they're thinking about reaching out to you. Now, I don't know if you want them to reach out to you. You might be like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. I don't really want that. And you know, that's cool. They're just thinking about it. This person is giving me like heavy 8 of Swords. They think a lot. They think and think and think, but then they don't take the action. But yeah, they adore you. They really do. Okay, let's get one more of these. Thank you. Okay. Oh, they want to spend more time with you. But again, they're not available. So I don't know in what way they're not available. Of course, they could just be saying that because you're not available. But I don't know. But they want to spend more time with you, stack 1. Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to spend more time with someone like this? Look how magical you are. Hello. Just saying. Just saying. My collective is super magical and amazing. I mean, we all have our faults, right? I mean, we're all healing, but we are pretty magical here. Okay, I'm going to go to the tarot. So basically, they miss you. They want to tell you all about their life. They're sorry for what they did to you. They're still attracted to you. They still got it bad for you. And you help them become a better person. Or they're becoming a better person. But they're not, they want your forgiveness. They do. They want your forgiveness, but they're not available. So let's just see what Spirit's advice is for you. For stack 1. But this is what they would say to you if their ego wasn't in the way. Yeah, like we've got the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords. It feels like they're kind of afraid of you because you speak your mind and you speak the truth. And they're like, I want to tell you so much, but I'm kind of afraid that you're just going to tell me the straight up truth, you know? Because you are, with that Queen of Swords and Ace of Swords, you're definitely going to tell them the truth. So yeah. Yeah, we got the Ace of Swords again. You're like, and another thing. They might be scared. They might be scared of you. Like, for real. Like, 3 times Ace of Swords. That is the truth, okay? You're in the star energy, and you're shining so bright. It's almost like you're so bright they have to put their sunglasses on. Yeah. You're very bright, Stack 1 Collective. You're very, very bright, my darling. And you're very patient, too. You've been very patient with whoever this is, Stack 1. Very patient. All right, Spirit, what is the advice for Stack 1 when it comes to this person? What's the advice? Okay. Okay, well, it looks to me with these cards here that this person, they're trying to become a better person, but they have not changed. Not in the way that you would need someone to change to be with you in the level that you are, to where you have ascended. And that's not to say, that's not to be mean in any way or egotistical. It's just a fact, okay? You have the amount of how you have healed and how far you have gone and how much you have ascended, this person just isn't there. They just are not at your level. So they also are too concerned with material things, with money, cars, houses, like just the materialistic stuff. They're too concerned with that, and that's part of what is keeping them stuck. So it feels like the advice here is for you to move forward and not look back towards this person, because they are not changing. They're refusing to change with the Tower in reverse. Yeah. Okay. Can I get a couple more, please? Yeah, you're no longer in your head about this person. They could have been keeping you so mentally stuck. And you're not there anymore. You have healed from this person and what they did to you. Yeah. They're not on your level. Anything else, Spirit? Yeah. You're the King of Wands here. It landed right on the Tower, too. You're the King of Wands. You're creative. You're in boss energy. You're way ascended. Look at the difference here. Page of Wands in reverse to the King of Wands. You're just way farther ahead in your healing than this person is. It would take years for them to catch up to you, and it's just not compatible. It's giving me irreconcilable, is that right? Irreconcilable differences. That could have been your grounds for divorce if that is resonating with you. But yeah, the advice is to keep moving forward. Okay. Yeah, look at this. 3 of Wands. Keep moving forward. Keep going towards your dreams. your future, your goals, your purpose. Keep expanding. Keep working towards your goals. Now, 88 is also significance. You're abundant. You're abundant in everything. You're abundant in spirit. There goes my camera. I kind of knew that was going to happen. That's okay. Hang on one second. I'm going to wake my camera up, guys. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. Yeah, you are abundant in spirit and in, materialistic things too, of course, but kind of like in all of the things, right? Hold on. Here we go. Technical difficulties. You are interested in being abundant in mind, body, soul, holistically, not just, okay, like I drive a nice car and I have money in my bank account and I have a nice house. Like, of course we want to be stable. Stability is nice, but you want it to go deeper. You want to be with someone who is on your level spiritually, emotionally, like have emotional intelligence, things like that. Mentally, emotionally, physically. You want a match. You don't want to have to become someone's therapist, someone's parent, someone, you don't want another kid, right? Like, and again, that's not to be mean, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. Okay, stack one, that was your message. I hope that it was helpful. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a sip of my drink, and then we're going to move on to stack 2 here in just a few minutes. If that resonated, hey, let me know in the chat, or, put a comment or something. I would really love that. I want to interact with you guys. Okay. They are sorry, though, for not being what you needed. Okay. Oh. Yay! I see a comment. That's awesome. I'm glad it resonates. Okay, so let's go to stack 2. I hope you're having a good day. All right. So for stack 2, we have, in that moment, I didn't care. It's giving in the heat of the moment. Like, that resonates with me. I don't know about y'all, but in that moment, I didn't care. Oh no. Yeah, my camera works perfectly fine all the other times. Okay, in that moment, I didn't care. I'm going to use these. These graffiti cards are so cool. It sounds like there was some sort of fight that you guys had or something. Could have been a major fight. That's kind of what it feels like. All right, what would they say, stack 2, what would they say if their ego wasn't in the way? Hang on 1 second, guys. I gotta mess with my camera again. Okay. What would they say if their ego wasn't in the way? Stack 2. In that moment, I didn't care. What didn't you care about? Feels like choice words here. Ooh, okay. This is giving third party energy here. Someone was intruding in on your relationship. That's definitely giving me third party. Please take this only if it resonates, okay, guys? But yeah, this says forcible entry, not minding their own business. Third party, it's not always like someone cheating on somebody. It could be a family member, a friend, or just someone or something was getting in the way of your relationship, of your marriage, of your, whatever it was for you. Ooh, they were intimidated. They're intimidated by you. Look at that. That's giving me a Leo energy. You could be a Leo. You're a Leo. You have Leo. Wherever you have Leo in your chart, go look it up. You can get a free birth chart. I think it's called astrologycafe.com. It's completely free. You just have to put in your date of birth, your location of birth, and your time of birth. And yeah, you could have a Leo moon. Or maybe your Lilith is in Leo. My Lilith is in Scorpio. But yeah, they're super intimidated by you. That's what they would tell you. That's what they would say if their ego wasn't in the way. Yeah. You could be born in 1973. So they're so intimidated by you. And they probably have their friends like in their ear or something. And in that moment, they were just like, well, screw it, forget it, whatever. And then maybe they walked out on you or something. This is giving angry. Like, look at this lion. He's like, this was an angry fight. This was a very, y'all were really, really mad at each other. And they didn't care. In that moment, they didn't care. They did not care. Okay. I bet they care now. Okay, can we get one more, Spirit? Okay. Oh. Puppy love. They are thinking of you now. They care now. Yeah. They think about you all the time, actually. They think about you all the time and they want to get back with you. This could have been your first love. It could have been a trauma bond. Maybe you were both immature back then. This could have been your high school sweetheart, or just like, maybe it was your first love, or again, like what I'm getting is just it was just very immature love. Like, maybe you both were kind of not emotionally balanced or not emotionally mature, and you had that like push-pull thing going, you know, that runner-chaser thing going, and it's giving like you learned your lesson from it with this lion energy, and they're still romanticizing it. They're still like, oh, you know, I love you, I miss you. And you're like, yeah, I learned my lesson, so, and no thank you. But they think about you all the time. All the time. I want to know about this person who wasn't minding their own business. Who's that spirit? Who's this third party energy? Ah. This third party was under the influence of something. This could be obviously like alcohol or, you know, drugs, or it could also just be maybe they were addicted to, you know, like being in the bed or whatever, or just they listen to everybody. It says can't think for themselves. This person doesn't use their intuition at all. They just listen to everybody else. They're like, oh, okay, I'll do whatever you want. They're under the influence of everything, and I'm getting they're addicted to chaos and drama. Whoever this third party is. And they got in the way of this puppy love. They got in the way. And they were also very intimidated by you. Stack 2. Yeah. Whoever this third party person was, and I'm getting that they were like hiding with their cloak. They cloaked themselves. They were hiding in the background. And they still are intimidated by you. And they're addicted to chaos and drama. Now, it could be an influencer. Or they want to be an influencer. Like they're totally fake. And they're like stalking you through fake accounts. And they're giving you evil eye. Okay, but I feel like this is getting in the weeds because we're trying to find out what would they say if their ego wasn't in the way. And this third party is like coming into this reading, trying to muck it all up. Okay. We gonna return that to sender, okay? I'm gonna light some sage. What they would say if their ego wasn't in the way is that this third party that is addicted to drama totally influenced them. And in that moment, they didn't care. And they went with whoever this third party was. Whether it was a family, lover, friend, co-worker. They could have chosen their job over you. You know, whatever it is. Also, what I'm getting from this is that they thought this was just some sort of like puppy love and that it wasn't serious. But it was a lot serious. It was a lot more serious than they thought it was. Like they can't stop thinking of you now. Okay. This third party is like a hot mess. A hot mess. Okay. What else do you want to say? Stack 2. Oops. That wasn't a very good shuffle. There we go. Alright. Alright, honey. I have 2 dogs, so you might see them pop up every now and again. You can see my thing here. Hang on. There we go. Okay. They lost themselves for a little while. I would say so. That's what the energy feels really chaotic. Like both my dogs are on either side. Like my camera's messed up. My camera keeps shutting off. It's like very chaotic here right now. Oh look, they're very confident that you will be together again. I hear some of you going, oh hell no, not in this lifetime, not in any lifetime. But they really feel like you all will be together again. Probably because of this puppy love. This puppy love is also giving that this person could be addicted to like the honeymoon period of the relationship, like the first 3 or 4 months of the relationship, right? Where it's seemingly everything is good, you know, you're like, you can't stay out of the bedroom, you're actually dating, you haven't met the parents yet, and like everything's fun. But the minute something serious happens, or like it starts getting more serious, they're like, I'm out of here. In that moment, I didn't care. And they don't care, right? They don't care. Again, there goes my camera. Like seriously, guys, this doesn't happen. My camera is like it has like a external battery and it's plugged in all the time. It doesn't just shut off. Okay, what else, Spirit? Also with this hypnotic over here, this third party, whoever this interference was, they are very good at mental manipulation. They could be a narcissist. They're very good at like, hey, do what I say, you know, like you will leave the collective, or you will do what I say. They're very controlling. I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. This feels like you, collective. This could have been the catalyst to your awakening, to your growth, to your healing. I really don't get the feeling that this person has grown that much. I could be wrong. But I feel like this is your energy. Especially with this lion. Yeah, and they remember every detail of that day. It's funny, right? In that moment they didn't care, but now they can't forget it. They can't forget every detail of that day. Spirit won't let them forget. Spirit will not let them forget that. That's part of their spiritual lesson, actually. Okay. Apparently this is a part of my life, you know, cutting the camera on and off. Yay. Okay. Let's see what else they would like to say. What they would say if their ego wasn't in the way. Also, they could still be being controlled by this third party who is extremely intimidated by you, collective. Extremely. They think you're adorable. That's that puppy love. It also could be some sort of mental manipulation, like, oh, you're so adorable, you know. I don't know. I don't get that is authentic. Doesn't feel authentic. Oh, they want to take you out on a date, though. Okay. You're going to do what you're going to do, Collective, but we're going to get some advice from spirits. Look, this one is landing right on we will be together again, so... I mean, it kind of feels controlling, right? It's like, excuse me, but I have a say in this, too. Okay. I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. It feels so chaotic. Okay. I have never felt this strongly about someone before. I look at your pictures on my phone. Okay. Through one lens, this can sound really sweet, and through a different lens, it can sound a little creepy. So, I don't know what lens you're looking at this through, but take it as it resonates, okay? Again, in that moment, they didn't care. And I'm getting that moment was the moment that you needed them the most. That moment is the moment that mattered. That really, really mattered. And yeah, we get that you lost yourself for a little while. That happens to all of us. But it still feels like they have this ego and like, well, you know, I can come back anytime I want. So take that as you go. Yeah, it's getting a little bit creepy. They spy on your social media. And they hope that you haven't moved on. Okay, let's get some advice for stack 2. I'm just saying, stack 2, if they weren't there for you at your worst, do you really think they deserve you at your best? I don't know. Okay, Spirit, what is the advice for stack 2? Yeah. It feels like with the Justice and the Five of Pentacles, they're supposed to be out of your life. Oopsie. Oh, yeah, they regret it. They do. They regret it. But it's like, hey, your actions have consequences. Especially if there was a third party involved. You know, I don't care if this was like their mother, their sister, their best friend, or someone that they were sleeping with outside of your relationship. They chose someone else over you. That action has a consequence. You're stable now. You have love. You either have, yeah. This is your energy. Ace of Cups, the Empress. You've grown so much. You know your worth now. This person thinks that they can just come back after all of, you know, again, you make your own decisions, but okay, Spirit, what is the advice for stack 2? Advice for stack 2. Do what makes you happy. 9 of Cups. Feels like you've gone way too far to look back. Like it feels like you've earned every one of these cups, these 9 cups. I don't think this person has given you any one of those cups, okay? Yeah. The Fool. If you're going to take a leap of faith on anybody, make sure it's on yourself. Do what makes you happy. Go on lots of adventures. This person was a fool for doing what they did in that moment. They didn't care. They made a permanent decision on temporary feelings. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. Hang on. I'll be right back, guys. This is really bugging me. There we go. Yeah. And they regret it. Oh boy, do they regret it. But, you know, we live and we learn, right? And yeah, like they had cups. They spilled 3 of yours. They still have 2, but they're like, woe is me, poor me. Pour me another drink, you know? And you're like, hey man, I got my own cups over here, and I'm like going on my own adventures. That's what Spirit wants you to do. Whatever makes you happy. Yeah. Okay, Spirit, tell me more. You're looking all unbothered, too. I love this Fool, because, like, they're in regret, and you're like, hey, man, I'm good all by myself. And then the Fool's like, that's right. I am unbothered. I love it. You're like, you could have left with just, like, the tiniest, like, how she has, or the Fool has, like, the tiniest little backpack, or whatever, you know? You could have just left with the clothes on your back, stack 2, and you're still very happy. You're like, I'm good. I love it. I love that energy. Oof. Yeah. This person is materialistic and selfish. And quite frankly, rude. All they care about is money. All they care about is what they can get from you. Like these 9 cups, they're going to take at least 6 of them, maybe even 7. The advice feels like, go your own way. Go your own way. This person is wrong for assuming that they're gonna like, we'll be together again. We'll be together again. No, you won't. The Spirit's saying, go your own way. Stack 2. Okay. Anything else? Yeah. The Magician. You know how to do this. You are manifesting your best life. What do you want to do, Stack 2? Where do you want to go? What do you want to see? This is giving like eat, pray, love energy. You have all the tools you need. Look, the Magician has all the tools. Yeah. Yeah, and you will be stable. King of Pentacles. Look, this is your energy. Stable, loyal, boss energy, and this is theirs. I will take what I want, when I want, how I want. I will lie, cheat, steal. It's just not, you're not compatible. You're just not. Yeah. That's the advice from Spirit. Yeah, in that moment they didn't care. What they would tell you, if their ego wasn't in the way, what they would say is that they really, really hope you haven't moved on because they want you back. They're obsessed with you. They look at your pictures. They want to take you out. They want to get back with you. But they're intimidated by you. They put everyone else before you back there. And they're so certain that they're going to get back with you. But Spirit's saying no. Spirit's saying go your own way. Go your own way. And you're going to be stable and just like amazing on your own. Look at you. You can go your own way. Go your own way. Hi, Luda. Come here, baby. This is my dog, Luda. Hey, baby. Alright, Stack 2, that was your message. I hope that it was helpful. But Stack 3 is, I don't trust you and I don't need your approval. Again, this is, what would they say if their ego wasn't in the way? This stack seems like they're still all about their ego, all about their ego. And it seems like a lot of resentment in this stack. A lot of resentment. Okay. I'm going to light this candle. Welcome to Don't Dim to Fit In. I'm Maggie, and I'm so glad you're here. Okay. Yeah, this person is still really just like defensive. They got their back up. And they're like, I don't trust you. I don't need your approval. You're not my mother. You're not my wife. You're not my husband. You're not my dad. Like, I don't need any. Yeah. And on top of that, they don't trust you either. So, okay. It feels a lot like projecting. Like they're projecting their issues onto you. This person could have not been trustworthy, so now they don't trust other people. All right, Spirit, what does Stack 3 need to know for their highest and greatest good? What would this person say if their ego wasn't in the way? Casper the Shady Ghost. Mysterious and cute, but doesn't stick around for long and only appears at their own convenience. They would say that they just dip in and out whenever they want to. That they're shady, and yeah, you were probably right. They'll ghost you in a minute. Yep. Okay, what else, Spirit? They would say that misery loves company, that they are miserable and they want you to be miserable too, because then you could both be miserable together. Yeah. That's what they would say if their ego was in the way. Yeah. They're like, I don't trust you. You don't trust me. This is the perfect relationship. Yeah. Convinces others that the bad isn't as bad as it appears and that people are better off with them than without them. They're like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I don't need your approval. We don't have to trust each other. I can just dip out of here whenever I want to. But we can still be together. We can just be miserable together. Okay, that sounds really healthy. Just saying. Okay, what else, Spirit? What else? This person could have shattered your heart, like completely shattered your heart. We also have crash. Their actions tend to have a ripple effect on others, both knowingly and unknowingly, yet they haven't paused to reflect and rectify their behavior. Yet they don't do any type of self-reflection. They deflect. They project and they deflect. They're like, yeah, okay, so whatever, so I ghosted you. They have no accountability. They don't stop to say, okay, well, how did that affect not only the person that I ghosted, but their family? They don't care. They don't look inward at all. Yeah. What they would say if their ego wasn't in the way is that they're definitely projecting all of their insecurities onto you, that they don't look within, they don't do the self-reflection, the inner work, and that they're miserable and it doesn't feel like they care. They want you to be miserable. They want to be miserable together with you. They would rather have that than be apart and like have you be happy and them just doing whatever they're doing right now. Yeah. Okay, anything else, Spirit? This seems like a whole train wreck right here. This is a very unhealed karmic energy, really. But they're still very much in their ego. They're still very much defensive. Yeah. When you were with this person, you could have been more like their mother than their partner, or their father than their partner. Okay, we have Rusty and Krusty and Mousetrap. Looking like a train wreck and moving like a sloth, but thinks they're a Mercedes. Yeah, they think very highly of themselves. Yeah, they think they're a Mercedes, but they're not. They're more like this type energy. Mousetrap plays games with people's emotions and their life choices by either trapping them emotionally or physically. Yeah, this person plays a lot of games. And you can kind of tell because they're like, I don't trust you. I don't need your approval. I can do whatever I want to do. I can ghost you. I can, misery loves company, all of this stuff. They're like, I can get whoever I want, whoever I want. I'm a Mercedes. I can roll out here and get whoever I want. No, they can't. No, they can't. Their ego is enormous. Enormous. If they did the self-reflection, they would understand that, like, hey, you're not as great as you think you are. Everybody has flaws. Maybe you should look at your flaws, ma'am and or sir. Yeah, and they play a lot of mind games. And they want to trap you because misery loves company. They want to hold you down. They don't want you to ascend. They don't want you to heal. They don't want you to move on. They don't want you to be happy. They want you to be miserable just like them. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, and they do nothing but complain. This is that I am never, ever satisfied. This person doesn't know what gratitude is. They just don't. They're not satisfied with their life. They're not satisfied with anyone else. They expect everyone else to change, but they won't change. They're never, ever, ever satisfied, and it's because they don't do the self-reflection. They're always going to be empty. But because they have this enormous ego, they would never tell you this, and they're going to roll around like a Mercedes. They're going to dress to the nines. They're going to smell nice. Their hair is going to be great. They're going to wear the best dress, the heels. They're going to have the purse. But really, on the inside, they're just this little rust. They're this rust bucket. Their spirit is achy, rusty and crusty. Yeah, and they don't make any decisions. They take forever. It's that energy where they're just like, oh my God, I hate my job. My job is so terrible. It's like, but it's like, okay, then get another job. Oh, but then I'd have to update my resume, and I'd have to like interview, and I just really don't want to do that. So they'd rather complain and complain and complain than change their situation. This is pile 3. If you know anyone like this, this is your pile. This person needs an ego death, like big time. They need to do the self-reflection. Okay, let's go to Papa Love. But according to them, they can do whatever they want. They don't trust you, and they don't need your approval, okay? But I'm not getting that you want their approval. Like you've moved on from this. You're fine. Yeah, they're a runner. You could have a runner-chaser dynamic with this person. Yeah, they're very ego-driven. Look at that. I am the best looking person in the entire world. Look at me. Wow. I mean, you might be good looking on the outside, but how you doing on the inside, honey? How's your spirit? All right, spirit. Let's go. What else does pile 3 need to know for their highest and greatest good? This person needs healing. Yeah, they feel like their life is falling apart. See, this is that constant complainer. They're like, oh, I'm going through tower moments. My life is falling apart, but they don't want to do anything to fix it. They just want to complain. And they're saying that you were the only solid thing in their life. But they don't trust you and they don't need your approval, so what gives? This is what they would tell you, like, if they had an honest conversation with you. You were the only thing that was solid in my life, the only thing good in my life, and guess what? I ruined it. Everything they build falls down because they're not building it on a solid foundation. It's giving the big bad wolf and the 3 little pigs, right? You got to build your house of something more than just straw. This person is arrogant. very, very arrogant. They think that they're the best thing that was ever made. They expect everyone else to change, but they really are the ones that need to change. Yeah, 55. 55 always gives me change. You could be seeing repeating numbers like everywhere. I know now I have control of my life. No one is holding me captive, and no one is controlling my circumstances. I recognize the power of my free will, and I now choose to be happy. Okay. This feels like your energy. So even if this is them, that's great, but this really doesn't feel like them, because they're constant complainers. They don't change. This is your energy here. They could be mirroring you or trying to copy you in some way. What else, Spirit? Cycles, yep. This is a karmic cycle. They're stuck in a karmic loop. They could be 42 years old or 24. We keep replaying the same story over and over again, and it never ends. It never ends well. When are we going to do better so we can be better? Well, you've done better, collective. This person who's stuck in their ego, who refuses to change, who constantly complains, is going to be stuck in this cycle until they decide to go within, to do self-reflection, to do soul searching, whatever you want to call it, to be accountable in some way for their decisions, their choices, until they decide at this critical juncture, till they decide that they no longer want to be miserable. This could also be you. You could be at a critical juncture. You could be like just going around and around and around with this person, and you're like, I'm tired of this. We do the same thing. We have the same argument. We have the same conversation, and I'm tired of this. I can't have this conversation not one more time. It's time for change. Yeah, it's time for change, because this person is a runner. They don't want to do the inner work. They're selfish. They're afraid of change. They would rather complain and be miserable. Yeah. Okay. This is a karmic cycle that, you're going to do what you're going to do, but this feels like a lesson to learn to get out of the karmic cycle. All right, let's see what else they want to say. What would you say if your ego wasn't in the way? Like super duper in the way of pile 3. Hey, I mean, I get it. I used to have, before I had my ego death, woof, I had a huge ego. Huge. I had a lot of soul searching to do. A lot of inner work. Once you do it, it's awesome. It's very freeing. Very freeing. So if you're a cross watcher, do the work, man. Just do the work. We're just gonna say it just like that. Just a big old shot of truth right there. These are fun to shuffle here. What's that song? Two of Hearts. Okay. Yeah, you're at a pivotal point, fork in the road, critical juncture. Do you want to just keep going around and around and around with this person? Pile 3, or do you want to get off that merry-go-round? I'm focused on healing myself. Okay. So, they want you to know that they're focused on their healing. Okay. What else? I care too much what others think. I love your sense of humor. I am scared of getting hurt, so I act like I don't care. Yeah. Fear. It's fear. But they think you're funny. Okay, what's the advice? What is the advice? Spirit, what is the advice? Use your intuition. Saw the Queen of Cups there. Take your time. Yeah, what they did was not fair. Yeah, many of you are sick and tired of this person. That's for sure. You've been through it. Spirit, what is the advice? Pile 3 advice. They were really unfair to you. It feels like you learned a pretty big lesson from this experience, or you will learn a lesson from this experience if you're still in that karmic cycle. They're also watching you in some way. Yeah, this is giving that they were trying to keep you small. They were trying to keep you stuck. They were dimming your light. And you walked away from that. You're like, this is not good for me. They were being unfair. They were trying to shrink me. That whole misery loves company. They were basically like you're swimming with someone and you have a life jacket and they don't, and they're trying to hang on to you and pull you under. You said, no, I had enough of that, and you walked away. You walked away from it. You said, this is not serving me. This is not for my highest and greatest good. I'm out of here. If you haven't done this, Spirit is encouraging you to do this. They wanted to keep you stuck with the Chariot reversed and the Three of Wands reversed. They didn't want you to grow and expand and get out there and see the world and find your purpose and do all the great things that you're possibly doing now or that you're getting ready to do. They didn't want you to do that. Yeah, and they're resentful as hell. They wanted you to stay where they were at. Miserable. And they didn't get what they wanted. And they're mad about it. They're resentful. Yeah, and you've had enough. You've had enough of this person. You're like, we're not gonna see eye to eye. They're not gonna see my perspective. This is the Nine of Wands. You've been through so much with this person, but you're like, okay, he's holding one wand, so he's like, okay, I'm wounded, I'm beat up, but I'm still gonna keep going. I'm still gonna keep going. And you did that, and you walked away. Or you're being encouraged to. You've been dealing with this way too long. Wherever you're going, you're gonna get there. It's gonna take a while. You know, slow and steady. But you're gonna get there. This is giving, don't underestimate small beginnings. And that sometimes things are slow because they're built to last. Yeah. So keep going, even if it feels like you're going so slow. It's okay. Just keep going. Forward, not backwards, not towards this resentful person who wanted to keep you small and stuck. No. They need to do their own work. You did yours. You're doing yours. Wherever, however this is resonating for you, you cannot save them. They have to do their own work. Don't let them keep pulling you down under the water so you can't breathe and you can't swim. No, they've got to do their own work. Yeah. Okay, pile 3. It really feels like that's the message. So I hope you enjoyed it. All right, remember, don't dim to fit in, shine bright, and live true. If this resonated, or part 1 or 2, piles 1 or 2, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're not, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.